And we're back at right time now for game number 3. We're in the decider, Vici Gaming versus EHOME. Winner goes through to the grand finals. Loser eliminated will finish in 3rd place here at the Rad&Dire Cup 2015. I'm GoDz, joining me as Basskip. We've seen some fun Dota over the last 2 days, and well, we've got a night filled with fun Dota tonight, but it's getting close to coming to an end. We're about to know our grand finalists. Basskip, excited for game number 3?
Yeah, I'm excited for game 3, and I feel like I don't really mind whoever wins this series. I feel like we've seen such good quality games over the course of this competition that whoever it is, Vici Gaming or EHOME, I feel like it's going to be a great grand finals. So let there be more games. I hope we get a full 4 more games, 1 here, and then all 3 in the grand final.
Yeah, I mean that's been the crazy. We've had a few 2-0 series like on the earlier days, but right now we're seeing a lot of long, drawn-out series, tight games, and 3-game series, which is great because we're at the top 3. CDEC Youth have been like a complete Cinderella story, kind of coming out of nowhere, taking out LGD, taking out EHOME, taking out CDEC, and then taking out Vici Gaming through the winner bracket. Like a team like that making it through the winner bracket is just kind of unheard of as far as not really being a known name. It almost takes you back to like what CDEC did at TI. The playing field perhaps here not quite as strong. Obviously, you've only got the Chinese squads, but it is still the best teams in China, and we'll see which of these 2 teams will get to head up and face CDEC. Bans coming out, and pretty standard stuff here as far as the opening bans goes. We won't see any Invoker. EHOME have picked up that they want to just ban out the Burning Gyrocopter since it is a safe go-to for Vici Gaming. And the other ban that has changed this game is the Bane, which kind of blocks Fenrir out from just playing the Bane and doing those like Bane Miranas, Bane Pudges that we've seen Vici Gaming do time and time again.
Yeah, they have been using it as a combo here quite a bit, so I like the ban, just push Vici out of their comfort zone. The Oracle has made it through in this game. I think we saw a couple of bans on it in the previous series, so Vici, yeah, just want to get rid of the Invoker and the Tusk. Tusk still just seems so broken with all the possible pull shenanigans, so I feel like we're not going to be seeing any of him today, but alright, that is a pretty bold way to start the draft, I think, for EHOME.
Yeah.
Just straight up Undying.
And
there you go.
I feel like the old EHOME used to do a lot of this, where 11 would just play he would spam the offlane Undying game after game after game. So it's kind of going a bit back to their roots. So we'll see if that's going to be the case here.
So I guess since the Gyrocopter's banned, stuff like the Phantom Lancer immediately comes to mind as a possibility for Vici as some kind of a way to deal with the Undying. It seems to be pretty popular as a means to deal with the Tombstone, but if they want it, they might have to take it early, and then they might expose themselves to counter picks like the Ember and whatnot, so it probably needs to be a bit later in the draft. So we may just even see it banned out by EHOME. If they're feeling strongly enough about this Undying to pick it up with their first pick, then I think they're also willing to probably put some investment behind it and ban out some heroes that would be particularly troublesome for it to play against.
And that's one of the really strong things with first picking the hero, is that you don't want to first to pick a Phantom Lancer, even though the hero is one of the better counters, so it just makes the Undying that much stronger because you can just ban out a second stage PL. So Vici Gaming get Dazzle for now, something just a bit strong, stable, that they can kind of draft anything around, and we'll see what they look to pair with the Dazzle option here. I imagine this will be Fenrir's hero in that kind of 5-position support role.
Yeah, and I think it already sets up really nicely for some potential options down the line. If they do go for the Phantom Lancer, it's an all-right laning combo with the PL. Takes it away from EHOME as well. If you're picking up the first pick Undying, it's more than likely going to be a central part of your strategy, and if an Undying is a central part of your strategy, then it's probably a 5-man oriented lineup. The other thing that I guess I'll bring up even at this point is that, you know, Vici might be looking at something like a Broodmother a little bit further down the line, given that it is already probably an Undying support. Makes the safe lane a little bit weaker. The Dazzle's got some combo potential there as well. So I think that's another trap that EHOME are going to have to watch out for as you move a little bit further into this draft.
Yep. So second pick there, really thinking about on the Vici side. I think DC, is that what's going on here? No? They're just chewing through all their reserve time.
They gotta, I think they have to think a couple of moves.
Yeah, no, I can understand this pick. They were probably theory crafting the draft for this game and were not expecting the Undying to be first pick.
Yeah, because they're going to take the PL.
So the discussion...
It was going to get banned.
Yeah, that's probably the discussion. Do we pick PL now and worried about a first 2 pick PL getting pressured or countered, or do we deal with an Undying draft and have the PL banned out and have to pick something else? So, okay.
Yeah, and they can't really keep the Brood and the Phantom Lancer both up in the draft moving forward, because then they would be forced to pick the mid early, but mid has been such an important lane for, forever, really. So you don't want to don't want to leave your mid hero vulnerable to being counterpicked either. Do get the Phantom Lancer, still good to have against the Undying. And I guess they'll just ban out some potential counters here. Maybe see the Ember removed from the pool.
Okay, well, we'll see what else comes out as far as Vici game are concerned. You mentioned the Ember. Any other kind of big PL counters you're worried about if you're Vici gaming?
I'm personally quite a fan of Zeus against Phantom Lancer. I think he matches up really nicely. Just kills the illusions so quickly. It's also pretty good against the Dazzle, so it could be something that we look at here. I don't know if it's something that EHOME would consider playing necessarily in this kind of a lineup. And with the Phantom Lancer pick, they are going to end up banning out that Brood, so I think sort of realizing the weakness of their own lineup, that they've got these two potentially melee supports. I guess the Undying could be a 3 position, but it would leave them very vulnerable to a Brood mothering, so just get rid of it early.
As much as they are vulnerable to a Brood mothering, the one Ice game, he did really well on the lane stage, and then it didn't seem to go from there, and he did seem a bit uncomfortable on the hero as far as the mid game went. Not just his play, but overall the team playing around it, because it's a hero that, despite how well Ice can play it, and he's one of the best Broods out there, Vici Gaming very rarely pick it. They're not known for being a Brood mother team, but EHOME's still not wanting to get cheesed in a game 3.
Yeah, definitely not. Alright, so Slark's the ban. Still just worried about this kind of non-stop fight strategy that might be coming out of EHOME. And they've kept... The really nice thing for EHOME is that they've managed to keep their draft really open up until this point. They could still take this in all kinds of directions. Of course, that might mean that they end up ditching the Undying somewhere along the way in terms of their overall strategy, but it put some pressure on Vici in the early portions of the draft. They went for the Phantom Lancer, that forced the Ember Spirit ban, so I think even if they end up letting the Undying fall by the wayside because they see some more promising line moving forward, it's still been a good opening for them.
Yeah. And you're worried about the Tomb being heavily countered, you can always play him more in that 5-position Undying role where you're playing more around the Soul Rip and the ultimate giving the damage amplification. So as much as the Tombstone is his signature spell, the hero does have other good tools for playing around, and even just his zoning potential as a 5-position support with Decay, he's very pesky to deal with.
Yeah, we talk about Decay and Tombstone a lot, but Soul Rip is such a crazy ability at the moment. Undying seems like he can even kind of fill the role of your push sustain single-handedly. If you're maxing out the Soul Rip early on and you've got some Arcane Boots on your team, you can just keep healing people right back up, so that's always going to be good. We see the Beastmaster from Vici. The aura is all right for dealing with the Tombstone. A little bit of lockdown, definitely not going to go amiss. Do you think there's any chance that we see this as an FY 4-position Beastmaster, or do you think this is just going to be Ice in the offlane? After
how poorly so many of their quirky FY heroes have worked, where he's played these either greedy 4-position heroes or these unconventional ones, we've seen the Gyrocopter, the Invoker, the Pudges, the Miranas. I feel like we're going to be in for something a bit more on the normal side. I think we're much more likely to see the offlane Beastmaster for Ice, or even a super mid Beastmaster. He's played it from time to time in the mid lane. As far as 4-position heroes goes, you could maybe try and fit in a Vengeful Spirit if you wanted to try stack some of those auras, get the Venge Beastmaster, push, take down towers, and have a strong 5-man lineup with that. Venge also gives them some good catch to try and punish this Zeus pick coming out from EHOME.
Oh, we do get to see some Zeus. I'm a happy man today. We've seen some Zeus. We saw that Enigma. Everybody's pulling out bits and pieces. I'd like the Phantom Lancer quite a bit with the Beastmaster. The Phantom Lancer Boots of Travel is still very popular, and being able to just roar somebody and then have the Phantom Lancer arrive with his BOTs and find pickoffs is something that Vici Gaming like doing. They really like those sort of cutesy map pressure strategies, and something that even goes all the way back to the old DK. Always looked at those really cheeky kind of pick off strats. But we are going to see the Pudge again. I think it's been the most successful of FY's somewhat interesting 4-position experiments. So let's see how it does this game.
Have to see what the Vici Gaming 5th pick is going to be as well. Dragon Knight's still in the pool if they want to go for the DK in the mid lane, which has been a go-to and a staple for Super throughout the tournament. Last game it really struggled, but largely just due to the fact they were getting overrun and never had time to complete his BKB. So we'll see the response from EHOME coming up. They've got a lot of just good defensive heroes though, able to counter-initiate using the Boulder Smash. Undying can drop the Tombstone to save people using the Soul Rip, so not going to necessarily be a amazing Pudge game right off the bat, but most of these heroes, to some extent, fairly squishy for the Pudge. And Earthshaker going to be the option for EHOME, which they normally play in the off lane for 11. I feel like this is actually going to be a Lanham 5-position Undying with the Shaker pickup.
Yeah, that's interesting. I like it against the Pudge because if the hook happens, then you've at least got some means of potentially getting a Fissure, opening up some space, and being able to bail out whoever got jumped. But this is definitely not the sort of 5-man lineup that we were speculating about a little bit earlier. And I think that's a really good decision from them, honestly, because I think if they just tried to 5-man Vici Gaming, then they would have split with the Phantom Lancer, they would have had the scouting from the Beastmaster, and pushing into Pudge is really difficult. You know, eventually he's going to land a hook, and eventually that's going to turn it into a 5-on-4. So I like that they're taking a somewhat alternative approach, and I don't know what the heart of their lineup is going to be, though. This carry pickup is going to be really interesting.
Okay, EHOME, the CDEC.Y hero of choice. Not going to be an anti-mage. Do we see them go back for something like a Morphling? I feel like that's a really bad matchup versus a PL. I'd be a bit surprised by a Morphling pick. And Vici Gaming, Super's Alchemist comes into play, so it feels like they are going back to the classic Vici Gaming with Super, putting him on these like mid-lane tanky melee heroes. We see the Brewmaster ban, we're seeing a lot of the DKs, we're seeing the Alchemist, and for Vici Gaming, this is kind of their staple kind of picks here. Not like the crazy shenanigans we saw against CDEC.Y.
Yeah, and this is definitely... At the moment, it looks like a lineup where if Vici just managed to stall, they sit behind the Acid Spray, they sit behind the Axis Spam, sit behind the hooks, that they should be able to run it out. And EHOME, alright, caution to the wind here. Timbersaw.
Nice. Last time they played this, Old Chicken had like 25 kills or something ridiculous. At one point, he was sitting on like 27 Bloodstone charges. This is something to look out for. CDEC.Y on the Zeus. I'm wondering which of those two is actually going to be in the safe lane here as well. Timbersaw was played in the mid game last time, the mid lane last time they ran the hero, but CDEC.Y on the Zeus may be the hero more suited towards that lane.
Yeah, I feel like, I mean, their draft lives or dies with the Timbersaw.
How do they break buildings here? They've got Timbersaw Zeus.
They have 0 tower damage. All. Like,
they've got to win the early game, win the team fights, and then just get far enough ahead that their ability to not take towers doesn't cripple them, I guess, is how I look at this.
Yeah. They got to take the tier 1s, and maybe Lamb can build a Necrobook or something. Who knows? Like, this is gonna be tough.
I'm curious to see how this goes down. Vici Gaming with the much more standard draft here in game number 3, but we've seen EHOME make these funky drafts work. This one, though, just going to be perhaps a bit tougher against a team like Vici Gaming in a Game 3 decider. We'll see some early wards being dropped down. EHOME making sure they protect their safe lane from any shenanigans. Ice is already sending out the Boar as well as the Hawk to try to get some scouting information for his team. And this is it. Game 3 decider. One of these two teams will advance to meet CDEC.Y in that best of 3 grand finals. Just the best of 3 for the grand finals already. For Vici Gaming, should they make it to the Grand Finals, it will be their 7th, 8th, and potentially 9th game in a row. So it's going to be an exhausting day for Vici Gaming, and even for EHOME, this best of 3 alone has been very draining for them, I can only imagine.
Yeah, it's starting to get... I guess it's only just starting to get a little bit late over in China as well. But yeah, playing all of these games consecutively could not be great for Vici.
Small thing to point out, Ice missing the initial D ward on the lane ward at bottom. I think for the most part that's been planted. If you've seen what Lamb's been doing, he's been planning it over from the secret shop And this sentry
Yeah.
would have caught it, but this is the first time we see a different position. So i's checking those replays, saying, okay, I'm going to get the D-ward, but LANM one step ahead of him.
I wonder if this is far enough over to block this side camp as well. I wonder if that's part of the intention of the Radiant Observer. I guess we'll find out in 20 seconds time.
So super at mid, Tango, pull, Stout Shield, Quelling Blade. And what's i's doing? Is he going to go for a creep skip play? It looks like that may be the plan. He pulls the Borer over. Timbersaw is there, but this is just looking to guarantee himself some farm and XP. He actually loses the aggro of a couple of them, unfortunately, so we'll miss out on some of that experience, quite likely. And it looks like instead he's just going to force the 2 creep waves to meet up as a result. Timber versus... Oh, mid lane, there's been initiation. Kaka's hit the rolling boulder, it looks like, and Super may just go down. He's only got the Greevil's Greed, and CDEC.Y with a level 2 lightning bolt gets the kill with the Earth Spirit. Salve from Kaka. Tower aggro, I believe, has been toggled off him, so he may survive this one.
Yeah,
FY,
it's already been taken off. Unless FY hits the hook.
Which should probably not happen. He might, I agree, but we'll see. CDEC.Y, 305 base movement speed, slightly on the higher end. Is it going to be enough?
For Kaka,
to save
I think you
his
just
life?
keep running up. Yeah, you put the creep wave in between you.
He's
and
salving too, so at this stage he can't pump fake the hook when he's salving. He's got to hit it right away.
All right, so let's spread off to a good start. Zeus, who actually picked up the last hit there, it was the Earth Spirit, so some really nice gold coming in for him. Can grab some early boots, has a really fast level 2, and might just be able to start looking for a very easy follow-up kill somewhere.
Beastmaster versus Timbersaw. How do you see this lane going? Is it just going to be a farm trade? Do you think one of the 2 heroes has an edge here, or is this not really a lane where we can expect to see much happen?
I think so long as Isis's positioning is alright, he should be pretty safe, but I do expect the farm lead to go to the Timber.
Okay.
Just because it's really difficult for the Beastmaster to approach the wave. Yeah, he can see us with the board, but I think the Timbersaw is just going to win out. And the harassment doesn't mean anything. That's normally the one advantage that the Beastmaster has in these 1v1 matchups, is that he can just get incremental chip damage with the boars, but Old Chicken doesn't care at all with the stat shield and reactive armor.
Yeah, I've seen like some of the other Beastmaster 1v1 matchups, like against Slaughter, and the Beastmaster seems to have an edge because at level 3 with boars and 1 point like in a beast, he doesn't even need to go for the axes, he just wins the right-click battle. But yeah, the right-clicks, like you say, reactive armor, you get 5 stacks at level 1, and the boars do such little damage against stout shield and reactive armor that you're just feeding Timbersaw regen, so perhaps one of the better heroes to lane against the Beastmaster. Let's see what i's can do. Go ahead.
Well, the other thing you can look at as well is that EHOME wouldn't have set up this 1v1 if they didn't think it was going to be a win. So.
Yep. So they aggro trailing from Shaker, Undying, and Earth Spirit, 3 melee heroes. Earth Spirit not really in the full aggro trailing. He's been moving around helping out the mid lane. Kind of looking to pressure the PL. It does keep the supports busy, but I don't think they're necessarily going to be able to stop Burning from farming up here.
Yeah, I think the PL is still going to get a decent amount, but this is looking like a pretty tough PL game. There's a lot of burst damage up against a Timbersaw and a Zeus, so I think the pressure is actually much more on Super this game to get a decent start, because if Burning's going to win this game, it's going to be quite a bit later on once he's able to actually tank up and start swift pushing.
Alright, well, CDEC.Y at mid needs his bottle back. It is being kept busy now, and Super seems to have a bit of an HP advantage in this mid lane. Zeus, though, winning the CS chart, winning the CS bell, but in the top lane, it's Shaker going down to a Pudge Phantom Lancer. I don't know if you call that one. Did he hit a hook, or was that just...
I mean, he must have.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like the
hook was on
cooldown, but he managed to make it a way back. Yeah, I got the fight recap up, so the hook did do...
Oh, he's hit another hook! FY! He's finding his aim here, looking to go on Kaka. Kaka gets hit by the lance, but does get the rolling boulder back to safety. And he cliffs himself. Has to wait another 8 seconds to get out.
Better than being dead.
Yep.
That's for sure.
Absolutely.
Mango, hook.
Oh, FY's found another. Old 11. Have they got the damage for this one? They pop Burning Spirit Lance, and they're looking to chase him down here. Another Mango comes out. He gets the Tombstone used very defensively. Vision not going to catch the PL. The Doppelganger away. Perhaps a bit too defensive with the Tombstone there. Lanham was just on level 1 Tombstone, though, so it only takes 3 right clicks to break it. Perhaps just wanting to make sure he doesn't feed away any unnecessary gold.
Yeah. In the meantime, Kaka also manages to swipe the bouncer in from the Alchemist there, so Nice little heads-up play. Gonna deny quite a bit of gold to Super. But Vici Gaming holding their own better on this top lane than I kind of expected. I guess it is a triple melee tri-lane like you were talking about, so it is somewhat difficult to keep the Phantom Lancer totally out.
Timbersaw at bottom, 24 CS, 12 denies. Fairly heavily outlast hitting the Ice Beastmaster. Especially looking at some of the denies scores. CDEC.Y sees another rotation come towards mid. He's going to observe down. Now we're going to see FY make the first kind of mix-up here. He's swinging towards bottom lane, possibly waiting for the level 6 on Ice, but it's not actually that close, and unfortunately for FY, he's been scouted out by an observer ward, so his presence at this bottom lane is known, and that ward is going to help keep Old Chicken alive down here.
Yeah, I know that the Pudge is away, so more pressure coming in top, but looks like this Zeus rotation not really going to accomplish a whole lot. At the very least, they've got the Earth Spirit grabbing levels on mid lane, so not really missing out on anything on the map.
An Old Chicken, fairly tanky down bottom, has got the magic wand as well as the fairy fire for sustain. Waiting for a Beastmaster level 6 it looks like, but that comes a bit slow with FY leeching this experience. Goes for the hook, he'll land it. He's 7 XP away from level 6 though. No Roar available, and perhaps FY leeching some of that experience, maybe costing them a little bit, but there is a 6-minute rune coming up. Alchemist will be the one to secure it. Just an arcane rune, not the bounty rune he was hoping for.
They're coming back in here again. Pudge.
Roar into hook, perhaps. There we go. The Roar starts things off. Hook shot immediately used just for the damage, and the Axis will secure the kill. Old Chicken goes down. Kaka just not there in time to protect him.
Yeah, and I said that their lineup kind of lives and dies with the Timbersaw, so that death is especially bad here.
Yeah, we're going to go back to the draft. They have no carry on this team, at least no traditional carry, no pushing potential. So Timbersaw dying when he is the hero that needs to snowball is probably the worst thing that can happen for EHOME. Boulder toss to lead things off. The rolling boulder going to miss, the hook shot going to miss. Bit of Cirque du Soleil action down here. Ice on the run, and another Chakram's going to be needed for this one. It looks like they're not even going to come close to killing Daryl. It's mid lane though, where they've gone in on Super. One more Lightning Bolt will be needed. He gets it with the Lightning Bolt, Arc Lightning. Down goes Alchemist as Shaker at top. It looks like he meets his own demise, being taken out by the Dazzle plus Phantom Lancer.
Yeah, but it's still just trades around the map at the moment. It feels like EHOME needs to be getting a little bit more going.
Zeus
I guess the Timbersaw
is crushing mid. Zeus is level 8 to the
That's
Alchemist
true.
level 6, so it's mostly trades, but I feel like the Zeus is winning his lane handily enough that maybe Timbersaw not going to be owning as hard as you'd like him to, but the Zeus can kind of make up for it.
Yeah, that's definitely true. And Zeus with a good start can just get totally out of control. I do wonder what kind of build CDEC.Y is going to be going for. The Aether Lens has been overwhelmingly popular recently, and does definitely seem very good, so maybe we'll be seeing that out of him. Sometimes, if you have a good enough start, Bloodstone can be amazing on Zeus. It's a great farming item, but a bit of a skirmish coming up for the 8-minute rune here.
Oh, Zeus still gets it. The bounty rune under Super's feet get dealt with. Now he gets the Tombstone on the high ground. 2 zombies still on Super with a fissure. Gets hooked out, though. Looks like that'll keep him alive, but there's the rolling boulder. Kaka gets the Son of the Super. I don't think they've got the damage for this, and with the PL TP, EHOME will disengage. PL still commits the TP as Cat gets the Roar out onto CDEC.Y. CDEC.Y in trouble. There's a sword to heal him up. Is it going to be enough? The Timbersaw's rocked up to the party. Gets a kill on the Beastmaster. That's one. Another hook shot off the mark. Is there going to be a boulder smash? Kaka's trying to line it up. He throws it. He's off the mark, though. And Old Chicken still in the middle of a very aggressive position here. The silence onto Super means he stuns himself, but he does catch Old Chicken with him. The hook shot off again, but they get the kill. Alchemist Super securing that. These fights, very chaotic, and all the skill shots flying around, some hitting, some not. Proving to make some very entertaining Dota between Vici and EHOME.
Yeah, that was some really heads-up play from Super. Just running in with the unstable concoction while he was silenced. So, it ends up kind of just being I think just a fight win for Vici, right? They got the kill on the Zeus, they got the kill on the Timbersaw.
Yeah.
And those are the 2 heroes that EHOME desperately need to get going here.
And only, lost the Beastmaster only, who is not too big a loss for them, considering he was already got most of his levels and some decent farm in the early game. I'm just lurking down in this bottom lane. I'm not sure he's been spotted yet Radiant Vision, gonna pop onto the Hawk here, but FY trying to remain hidden at the back lines. Can he find a hook? Swooping through the trees here. There's gonna be a Timbersaw breaking those trees, saying, if you're hiding behind there, I'm gonna find you. It looks like FY probably gonna suspect that he's being found soon.
Yeah, he was just killing the Hawk as well. They knew where it was from earlier, so picks that up with the Chakram. Still needs to get a... Oh, I guess he's got level 8 now, so he does have the maxed out Timber Chain. But...
All burning. Doppelganger out. Will still be a fissure there. CTY. Not sure he's going to be able to find the Lightning Bolt. Note the fissure kind of ruining the chase there for EHOME, who will not be able to punish burning go
Looking for the solo kill.
FY hook
coming in.
Too easy for him. And now they get the Tombstone as well. That's 175 going the way of Ice. They do throw out the Magnetize, but completely off is the Rolling Boulder. He gets the long range shot though from the Rock Smash, and will still get the kill.
Alright. Bit weird from Ice. That's actually a very Ice play, right? Just draws a bunch of fire, finds a 1-for-1. Gets the Magnetize on cooldown as well, which isn't too bad. Probably makes it worth it overall.
For the Vici draft, it sounds like the kind of trades they want to just take because it just buys some time. EHOME's draft isn't really getting a whole lot done. They're not winning the early game as hard as they'd probably like to, given the nature of their draft as well.
Yeah, and they still have absolutely no way to threaten towers. Okay, Vici mid tower is taking like 100 damage. Top tower is taking a little bit more, about 300, but they've got to win fights in such a one-sided way to actually push at all.
Super. Picks up Blades of Attacks. We've seen a lot of the Armlet on the Alchemist as of late. Old Chicken, I think, one of the players who's kind of started the trend, and possibly going to see the same out of the Alchemist of Super this game. Bottom lane, an engagement comes out. FY, he's been silenced up. The Zeus ultimate will not bring him down. He's got a hook shot now, but he won't get a chance to use it. CTY getting the last hit with the Arc, but the chase is on. Beastmaster already using the Roar. Won't be able to get the catch.
Timber, find your Arcane Boots. All right, there you go.
Oh, he's got him. Did he drop it for the wand?
He dropped it for the stick, and yeah, dropped it for the wand, and then it disappeared into the trees. That could have been really bad.
Classic item drop things. Old Chicken tanking up now with a Vitality boost to pick up.
Once again, it's just kind of trades, kind of even. Burning still just farming. Rest of the team drawing fire in the meantime. You were talking about the Armlet build on the Alchemist just a little bit earlier. I think it's actually seems really good this game. I'm much more a fan of the early game fighting Alchemists than I am of the
Echo Slam from Old 11. He's found Ice, and well, he's probably saying, guys, space created, right? Fenrir being chased down though. He's being fissured up. There's going to be a Boulder Smash in a couple of seconds. He needs a stone though. He's got one ahead of him, but all these stones grouped around the bottom lane from that team fight, and EHOME will just get the one pick off though. So still an alright catch for them.
Alright, we're gonna Blink Dagger now on the Zeus. Gonna throw out a little taunt as well. CTY. Bit of fun. Why not?
Gonna keep that APM up. Not the item I feel like I was expecting for the Zeus. I mean, you mentioned the Aether Lens. If not the Aether Lens, I probably would have expected a 4-star, but deciding Blink's the way to go.
Yeah, I find that it's interesting because the the Arcana adds a blink animation, but I feel like Aether Lens and Force Staff have made Blink Dagger in a lot of games a little bit unnecessary. So it's a bit tough. It is a neat animation, but
yeah, I didn't realize it had an animation. I just saw it for the first time. That was pretty cool. CTY going for the style points.
But yeah, I don't know if that's the deciding factor here for CTY.
It's going to Soul Ring and push out this top lane, it looks like. Checking for some aggressive wards here. Actually, I believe he scouted out the Hawk of Vici Gaming. Secondary Hawk swooping on in as well. Vici Gaming, they were fishing for a kill there. FY's hook gets put on cooldown, but won't catch CTY. The Beastmaster with the Pudge, very potent duo since Beastmaster is so good at providing vision into areas where EHOME might think they're safe.
And I mean, EHOME are having so much trouble because they just can't open the map at all. The towers are all still up, so They want to make any kind of a rotation, it has to be a little bit obvious. And Vici don't even have to go and farm the lanes necessarily. They've got full access to their jungle. They could even be taking advantage of, you know, the little side camp over here by the secret shop. They've stacked up some ancients as well, so that I guess the Beastmaster and the Alchemist in tandem might be able to clear them out later. It feels like naturally EHOME are going to lose the economy battle, so they just got to get moving somehow. Though I don't know how they're going to drag Vici Gaming out of their side of the map.
They're trying to. They're coming down towards this bottom lane. Timbersaw in the front lines. Hero smoked up, grouping behind him. They've got the level 4 tombstone as well, so this is the ideal time to start fighting. And Old Chicken is very tanky on the front lines. But damage being dealt to the tier 1 mid kind of makes this fairly evident. They go with the Roar. They want Kaka here. The hook shot back. He's going to get dragged down. It looks like Kaka should go down without using a spell. Ice. He's going to be the attempted return kill, but a Grave TP. Is there a cancel? No, he gets the Echo too late. He gets out, and now PL and Alchemist have rotated in EHOME. They're in trouble. They've lost 2 already. It's surely to be more. FY gets low. He will suicide. With all the damage coming in, somehow lucks out, and it's going to be a Zeus. Blink to safety. There we go. CDEC.Y. Jetpacks out of there, and it's a 3-for-1 trade, and that one not even giving EHOME anything.
Yeah, that's got to be really worrying if you're EHOME at this stage. Just not really building up anything. I guess at the very least, everybody from Vici Gaming was present in that fight, so there wasn't anyone off split pushing and building up more of an advantage. But what can they do? They just got to keep trying the same thing over and over, just trying to find smokes, find some kind of a pick-off, hope that they find somebody on Vici Gaming off farming.
Yeah. I feel like they could wait for a little bit longer, like they maybe could have finished Timbersaw's Bloodstone or whatever item he's getting with the Vitality Booster before trying to make that play there, but it was very much like, okay, let's smoke, try and find a pick-off, possibly get a tier 1 tower out of it, something which would be incredibly hard to do without a kill. And it just completely backfired with Vici Gaming getting the better initiation.
FY's been scattered here, they got the ward. Not the best fisher in the world.
Nor the boldest toss as it doesn't hit him. FY just hooks a creep. I think he just accepts his fate there, and ultimately support Pudge going down, not really the end of the world for them. Top lane, Shaker has got the fissure, not going to go for it.
Old 11 does have quite a bit of gold, actually, 1900. Yep. That's more than I was expecting to see, but that Blink Dagger could be a way that they start looking to get back into this game somewhat.
Yeah, it's not, as much as they're very early mid-game centric and have no late game, it's not like hopeless yet for them. When they get the Blink on the Shaker, when they get the an item on the Zeus as well as the Timbersaw Bloodstone, that's when they need to start making plays happen. So if they can find some success with their item timings, then the game will start to swing in their favor. Just the early game going very, very poorly. Burning's even going for the more greedier option with the Boots of Travel on Phantom Lancer. I think just recognizing that they can just farm towards the late game and he can just play keep away. Wherever EHOME goes, he can just TP to another lane and farm and push things out. His team don't even need him to defend towers. All they've really got to do is just drop Acid Spray and towers can't really be pushed.
Yeah, and I think the Boots of Travel are also just too good with the Beastmaster. You've always got something to be able to TP into the fight, so even if your team is off 4-man smoking, and they're in the jungle, you still have a guaranteed way to join them, and the Beastmaster can go and look for quote-unquote solo kills where he just runs around and drops a Primal Roar on somebody with the Phantom Lancer TPing in for the extra damage. So I would have been very surprised to see anything other than the Boots of Travel and Burning this game.
FY looking for a hook shot as 11 goes for a last hit, hoping to slow down that Blink Dagger timing, but old 11 has the money for it. He'll pick it up from the side shop here, I imagine, depending if he wants to hide it. Zeus actually
CDEC.Y going in?
Yep, it's bottom lane. CDEC.Y almost gets the kill on Dazzle. Doesn't do so, and now the TP from a Phantom Lancer. CDEC.Y could pay for this one with his life. One Lance is there. Where's the TPs? Blink! Echo! Totem! Fissure! They're going to take out 2! And Alchemist and PL get punished by the Blink Dagger timing from 11. It ends up being a tremendously successful bait from the Zeus. Maybe not what he intended, but the results speak for themselves. FY Silence up at the top lane, still looking for that hook. He's trying to throw it. He's channeling his inner dandy. Oh wait, the tower's hitting me. Let's just dismember a creep. That's definitely not his inner dandy.
Got him. He healed up.
Yep.
It's a new dismember.
I guess with the Arcane Boots, you can use it a bit more liberally. It's a very short cooldown on dismember.
Alright, tier 1 tower down. EHOME are doing it.
Alright. Tower money. And that was the 2 biggest kills they could have found, Alchemist and PL.
And 2 Bloodstone charges.
Oh, yeah. Not to be underrated. I've seen Timbersaw carry games. As much as the hero struggles to deal with BKBs, PL is not really a BKB carry hero. He's very much about the illusions.
Yeah, this is a really bad Phantom Lancer game. I mean, even if he gets 6 slotted, Zeus and Timbersaw are gonna clean him up the whole game long.
It almost feels like he maybe needs to go for like the more single target carry items as opposed to trying to buff up his illusions entirely. In some weird way.
Yeah. Yeah, this is definitely the kind of game where you consider like the S&Y BKB basher on the Phantom Lancer instead of the Manta and all of your
Manta, Diffusal, Skadi, or whatever it may be.
Yeah, Diffusal still seems pretty good. It's a huge source of damage, but yeah, the like BKB and S&Y instead of Manta style definitely seems better.
We'll see what the next move for EHOME is going to be. They've got to feel like they've got a bit of momentum going there where they find a pickoff on Beastmaster. Now they're going to look for the Dazzle at bottom lane. Have they got a Zeus ultimate? Yeah, betcha. Needs a TP out. It's a burning TP and that cannot cancel that. Nice pickoff. They're finding the kills now. EHOME. Going to see the gold graph swing their way back to even now and momentum heavily favoring the EHOME side. This is their time to shine.
It's just going to mosey on back down to bottom lane. He's got another Echo Slam in 15 seconds. Burning needs to be careful. He's kind of committed to this lane because he just Boots of Travel down here a little bit earlier, but I think he's now feeling a little bit afraid. And they do have some vision from the Dire Observer Ward.
Looks like they saw this Observer Ward. Yeah, they'll get it with the totem. So Dire vision gonna be very important, but also hard to rely on since Zeus can deward the map. For now, though, still a couple of Dire wards up, giving Vici Gaming what vision they can. They also have the Hawk here as well as a secondary tool.
Old Chicken's already picked up some Boots of Travel, so he's ready to deal with any split push efforts and still be ready to join his team. So we're gonna see the map maybe get split up a little bit, but it seems like Vici are just... I mean, the only reason that bottom went so disastrously was because they chose to chase. They chose to look for the kill on the Zeus, and that really opened things up for EHOME. So it looks like it's kind of a once bitten, twice shy kind of a deal for Vici Gaming. Just going to sit behind their towers for the next little bit.
And this means EHOME will be able to, it looks like, get a tier 1 tower here in the mid lane. Dazzle uses a weave offensively. Bottom lane, though, looks like Old 11 got aggressive here. He's had all his mana get burned away, though. Went for the Echo Slam play and did not manage to get the kill on Beastmaster. Burning backs himself the hell out of there, and an attempted kill at bottom, it seems, but unsuccessful.
Yeah, it looks like he went in for the Echo combo, but then just got roared in response. And nothing more gonna happen there. Gonna deny on the mid tier 1, so that's actually gonna be the first building that Vici Gaming take down so far this game. In terms of a lead, I mean, as soon as they did manage to get that fight and bring it back to even, but as soon as we go back to just hitting creeps, immediately the graph starts dipping in Vici Gaming's favor. Not that Timbersaw and Zeus can't farm, but it feels like the Alchemist and the PL always going to do just that little bit better when they're both just sitting in the neutral game and farming up.
And something I mean maybe worth pointing out now, but not that won't come into play till a bit later, is Vici Gaming going to like game. They don't actually have heroes that benefit that much from the Ag Scepter that the Alchemist can pull, which could, like, if it does look like this will be a long drawn out game. Vici Gaming are looking to go for the late game. EHOME can't end the game fast, so we'll see. Kaka, he's found Super. Did not get the silence before the Chemical Rage. Can they burst him down in time? You betcha. They've got Timbersaw. His BKB arrives half a second too late, it looks like, and FY will at least get the TP out. Full staff arriving, but unable to get the TP cancel. Bottom lane now, they're looking to defend this one. Ice. He's getting chased down. The Chakram Whirling Death will bring him low and gets finished off by Old Chicken, who wants to chase Burning as well. 4 points in the Doppelganger should mean he's going to be okay here. The Timber staying forward, and the Doppelganger is so unlucky for Burning. Can they actually kill him off here? They've got no Zeus ultimate for now, but there we go. The Zeus catches up with the Lightning Bolt. Pudge now in trouble as well. The chase from this Timbersaw. Old Chicken just wreaking havoc, and FY going to go down as well. CDEC.Y and Old Chicken both getting Bloodstone charges, both getting kills. 5 heroes are actually dead right now. Dazzle died at the top lane to something. And, well, there you go. There's your push. Here, 5 heroes dead. We can break towers.
Yeah, it takes them a while, but I mean, if you get the 5 for 5-0, Why not?
They're chasing just catch potential this EHOME draft. They've got Blink Daggers across the board. They've got the Rolling Boulder and the Boulder Smash coming out from the Earth Spirit. And Vici Gaming just slightly overcommitting on different places on the map. They're almost just too split up right now. Blink, Echo, Super's being caught out. And with the Timber Saw, that's another kill. He doesn't get a chance to BKB. Radiant Vision helping set that one up as well. And EHOME suddenly looking hot, hot, hot.
Old Chicken's Timber Saw is so sick. I mean, this started at the game a little bit slow, all things considered, but he is just snowballed as soon as he picked up that pulse. And he's already got his Blink and the point booster on top of that. So
oh, mid lane, they're going in on Burning. They're trying to burst him down. He gets hooked out to safety. Did CDEC.Y maybe even miss one of the lightning bolts he threw there? I'm not sure if they got all their damage out onto him during that fissure, but very close to getting the kill nonetheless. We'll maybe set up to get this tier 2 tower at mid. Not that they've got really the best damage to do so, but now slowly working away on it. And now they've got control of the Vici Gaming jungle, which takes away a lot of the farming resources that Vici have been relying on.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see if that lightning bolt hit. Yeah, so he did land that lightning bolt.
Okay.
I was just opening the combat log. I was worried that my game was going to crash, but all right, we're good. I guess the dazzle heal came in as well, so managed to help him out a little bit. But Vici just seemingly totally unable to take a fight. I mean, their lineup does not match up very well against EHOME at all in a 5-on-5 front confrontation. So they're just gonna have to avoid for now. Rely on the strength of their high ground and hope that once they've got the double BKBs up, they might actually be able to find some kind of a kill.
EHOME are pinging this, but they're incredibly far away. It is a fairly slow Roshan. The Ice Inner Beast helping speed it up a little bit, and it looks like Vici Gaming will make it in time. Weave will be wearing off, and even though you've got an Aegis, I'm not sure if they're going to be able to win the fight. They get the Raw and Old Chicken. He gets 4-star in. Old Chicken's low. He gets the Timber Chain out, though. He's back to safety. The Dismember on the backlines. Ice being dealt with, and it's going to be Pudge on the high ground. Chain stunned up by the Earthshake. It looks like he's the target. Old Chicken just continues to run. The hook shot not going to land. FY goes down to Old Chicken. They're bringing down the Tombstone using Burning and his illusions, which is good news for the Vici Gaming teamfight. But Burning's trapped on the high ground. He has not got a doppelganger. He gets taken out. That's his first life. Is there going to be an attempt on his second life? He gets the doppelganger to start. They lose the dazzle. He gets blown up by a totem. Super going down as well. Without the ulti form, he's done for. And Burning on the run has boots of travel. Can they keep up to him? Doppelganger number 1. He's still on the run. Has pretty good movement speed as a result. Old 11. He's used his Blink and 4-staff. Gets lanced up. Old Chicken needs a chakram. Old 11 may just die here, but the doppelganger pulls the illusions off of him. Burning. He's being chased all the way back to as well. Where's that FY Pudge? It's TPing in. Can they get the kill? You betcha. Old Chicken makes sure of it. And FY! FY, please! He's TP'd into his own demise. Burning! He's got to make something out of these buybacks. It's a triple buyback from Vici Gaming. They're all in for this one, and they say, let's sack Timbersaw, because guess what? He'll suicide.
5 seconds.
CDEC.Y can suicide himself. It looks like he may need to. Unfortunately, he doesn't have the time to get it off, or just decided he might be able to escape. And Vici Gaming, even with a kill or two here, I don't think it's really worth it. Timbersaw's actually back and could come and fight again. Zeus is back in 10. Alchemist, he's BKB'd up the stun. It looks like he may just hit nothing. BKB stopping it from hitting himself. Land him on the run now. The Fissure going to block off the rest of Vici. It's perfect and super. He's trapped here. Old Chicken, it looks like he wants to maybe go for this kill. Has a Whirling Death, has a Timber Chain soon. He's baited out the grave now, gets super low, caught in the chakram, and CDEC.Y going to look to finish the job here. Zeus Ultimate gets 2. EHOME are just cleaning up, and the chase is on. They want more. Old Chicken, he's gone blinking in. He's got another. It's a death on the Dazzle, and Burning's low. He's got no buyback, remember. FY's got no buyback. Both these two heroes just used their buyback. That's what, 3 buybacks used by Vici Gaming, and a disaster here in the mid game. EHOME with the Old Chicken Timbersaw are looking to put together another victory here.
I mean, Vici got, what, 1 kill out of all of those buybacks? There was the suicide from the Timbersaw, and they managed to kill the Zeus, but that was...
1 kill and 8 deaths, I think.
Yeah.
And make it 9 deaths.
Oh, man.
You've got to be tilting so hard right now if you're Vici. Even though you're looking at this like, yeah, we've got the better late game, but PL himself is going to struggle. You can see he's picked up the Ogre Club. We talked about this being a BKB game. It looks like that will be the item of choice for him, but he's got no farm whatsoever. He's sitting on 9.6k net worth. Timbersaw, Zeus, both sitting on 15,000. They dish out so much damage at this stage of the game. We'll see a nice blink dodge of the Spirit Lance, and it seems EHOME are happy just to back off for the time being.
If it's gonna be a win for Vici, it is gonna take a while. They're gonna have to get some hooks up onto the high ground, get those crucial pickoffs, but it's tough. EHOME actually have a bunch of different ways to save people. They got a couple of force stabs. The Earthshaker can always jump in if he's not the one who gets caught. So
Shaker going for an Ag Scepter, it looks like, by the way. So he's picked up a point booster. He's level 16 already. All these kills giving them massive levels. Massive farm. Undying's picked up an Aghanim Scepter. That's your 5-position EHOME support with a 30-minute Ags on Undying. Earth Spirit's got a 4-staff and now working on what could be something like a Lotusaur. Vici Gaming trying to de-ward here. They better be careful not to get caught. He will hold 11! Blink Echo Fissure instantly blows up the Beastmaster. They want more, but Super with the BKB Blade Mail trying to turn and fight. They need a 4-staff out for 11. He's not going to find it, so they've traded 1 for 1. Not a bad start, but the BKB on Super will be wearing off, and unfortunately, EHOME did not have their Zeus there with them. His TP on cooldown, but Old Chicken, he's not done. He's got the Ag Scepter. He's looking to get aggressive, gets hooked into the base. Timber chains to the tree that's also inside the base. There's the Boulder Smash. Helps keep him alive a little bit longer. He's going to turn and fight the Chakrams, the Whirling Death, the second Chakram. FY graved up, kept alive as a result. Finally, he gets to the low ground. He just couldn't find a tree to get to. And Old Chicken will be slowly healing himself back up with some bottle charge assistance. Buys them a bit of time on the side of Vici Gaming.
Yeah, I mean, that's all that they can really do, right? They gotta just keep hooking people into the base. Nobody wanted to get anywhere near the Timbersaw. As soon as they knew that, as soon as that Dismember ended, he was just gonna drop 2 Chakrams in the Whirling Death, and Alchemist is kind of the only one who could be in the neighborhood when that happened. And Al needs to be careful here. He's gonna be able to back himself up. Vici doing a good job of locking down their side of the map. Again, getting a bunch of good D-wards around the place and securing some kind of area to farm.
And at some point, as much as they don't have a late game lineup, you get enough items on supports and run, like go into the late game with 5 very farmed heroes, including supports stacked with Ag Scepters and other utility items. You will be able to take the late game fights. Maybe not push so on the late game, but it really feels like this PL at no stage is really going to be a big problem for EHOME to deal with.
Yeah, at least not for quite some time. I mean, the BKB is going to help things somewhat, but eventually the BKB charges are also going to wear out. And we've been talking about how difficult it is to break Vici's high ground, but it's also goddamn impossible to break EHOME's high ground. Even if the game does swing back the opposite direction, I don't know how you break the Timbersaw Zeus Earthshaker high ground.
And one of the biggest problems I foresee with Burning's BKBs, he's getting it now while it's kind of his only item with a diffusal. So when he's BKBing in fights, it's going to keep him alive, but he doesn't have the items to get kills, which means by the time he gets like his next item or two to give him some damage, his BKB will be down to 5 seconds, like you mentioned. So it's kind of like you get all these downsides along with getting the BKB. You get to stay alive, but realistically, you're just going to be fast at getting to that 5-second BKB as a result. Nice size, getting caught out here. Not enough damage to bring him down before the TP.
Hudge wishing that he had his Aether Lens completed there. Almost got a hook on the Earth Spirit, who was boots of traveling over to try and find that kill.
And that's an interesting deviation in the normal builds we've been seeing from Kaka. He's picking up the boots of travel. Same thing for the Earthshaker. They're getting boots of travel on multiple heroes, and normally known for an item to help you kind of deal with split push. It just feels like they want to find pickoffs forever. So if they're kind of committing to a 5-man and they see PL farming somewhere on the map, they want to be able to get the Earthshaker there to go for that pickoff. And there's the Aether Lens. They get the catch. Super gets hooked out. Pudge making life very difficult for EHOME to find kills at this stage of the game, or go for any sort of a push.
But, I mean, they're controlling the entire map at the same time as well. CDEC.Y's actually got an Arcane Rune bottled, so that's
fun.
That's scary.
It looks like he'll activate it though, or it possibly just got forced to activate.
Yeah, I would guess so, because it's just past 34, so probably grabbed it at 32.
Old Chicken says, okay, don't really care about that. Zeus is actually going to ultimate. Not going to lead into anything. I imagine EHOME probably just going to be forced to back off here, and They control the entire map. They've got Ward in the top lane, Ward in the bottom lane. If Vici Gaming ever leave their base unsmoked, they will be instantly scouted out. And EHOME have access to all the farm on the game, while Vici Gaming have maybe access to like 10% of it. Just the creeps that enter their high ground.
Yeah. Fenrir has invested in a Gem of True Sight just to keep their side of the map locked down at the moment. So if they manage to get outside of the base, they should be able to get these D-wards off. But for the time being, they're going to continue just being forced to sit here and hope that they can get some hooks to start things up. I wonder if we are going to start seeing like some necrobooks and stuff coming out from EHOME to try and start working their way away on the high ground. Echo's like misses, nice stop.
Okay. Turns around for a Fisher, old 11, may need another 4-staff. Where's his teammates here? Looks like he could be in some trouble here. They're looking to chase him down. The BKB from Burning being used, but here comes Old Chicken. Definitely can teach an Old Chicken a few new tricks, because his Timbersaw has been nothing short of perfect this game and the last one he played it. There's the Zeus nuke damage. Kaka goes flying as well, looking for a Magnetize. He's already got the kill onto the PL, and PL, Alchemist, both without buyback. This could be the high ground that EHOME have been looking for. They're just diving tier 4s. They're diving the throne. Old 11 says, oh, hello. I'll hit this Fissure. And Fenrir is too far away to do anything about it. He tries to TP himself out. He's going to go down. Drops a gem. And it's GG. EHOME, in spectacular fashion, have 2-1 Vici Gaming with another crazy Timbersaw draft. Very reminiscent of the last time they picked the hero. It just felt like they were all in on this carry Timbersaw, and it just works.
Yeah, he had a spectacular game. I'm still a little bit shocked. I feel like we maybe overemphasized how important the lack of building damage was going to be, because they steamrolled them.
I feel like the biggest thing maybe we just kind of underestimated was just how useless PL is against this lineup. Like, no matter how much you cannot push towers, PL at no stage of this game can really be relevant. The only time he's maybe strong is the laning stage, which is like normally where PL is actually kind of weak. Once these heroes get levels and items like Blink Daggers, Bloodstones, PL is just absolutely worthless this game. He would, even with 6 slots of items, by that point, I don't see him being all that useful either, because they have so much to deal with the illusions. This was just always going to be a near impossible game for Burning to do anything, so you go back to that second pick for Vici Gaming, they used up almost all their reserve time, and I'm pretty sure the discussion's going to be, I think we made the wrong decision about that second pick PL.
I mean, they got baited. Right, they banned the gyrocopter. They picked the Undying first pick. They put it out there. They're like, "Are you gonna pick Phantom Lancer?" Vici hesitantly were like, "Yes."
So
and then, well, there you go.
And you just first 2-picked a hero that isn't really a hero you want to first 2-pick because of how hard you picked a carry to counter a 5-position support, and then your opposing team could spend their remaining 4 picks to counter your carry. So, as far as like looking at it from like a pure practical point of view, having your Burning carry getting hard counted versus having your 5-position Undying get semi-countered, I don't even think the PL acted as a counter, just because Undying had so many other tools that he brings to the table. All PL brings to the table is his ability to create illusions and carry a game, which is entirely dealt with. Undying still is Soul Rip, still is Decay, still is the Flesh Golem, and in some fights we even saw the Tombstone still get something done.
Yeah, I think it was just such a nice draft from EHOME. I mean, we've been talking about, we've been seeing interesting drafts over the course of the day. FY's been playing some Mirana and this and that, and then they just do something completely different and win the game in totally spectacular fashion. I'm really looking forward to seeing how EHOME do in the grand finals. I think very well deserved.
Yeah, well, it's the team that knocked them out in the winner bracket quarterfinals. EHOME have clawed their way from round 1 of the lower bracket, and now they get to meet the very team who beat them 2-1 in the opening match. CDEC.Y going to be taking on EHOME, best of 3 grand finals here at the Dota 2 Rad&Dire Cup. That does it for the lower bracket finals. That does it for Vici Gaming here. And we're going to take a break, come back for that best of 3. Big thanks for Basskip for joining me. You guys can follow him, show your support at Basskip. And Basskip, as always, it's been a pleasure to cast with you, and I look forward to the next time we get to do this.
Yeah, always fun. Thanks, Parker.
No problem. Anyways, guys, on the stream, stay tuned. That grand final should be coming up in about 15 to 20 minutes time after a short break. We'll see you then.